station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Got a really interesting guest, and I've been looking forward to this guest since we booked him. Greg Kozera is on the phone ready to chat with us. He's written a book called Just the Fracks Man, The Truth About Hydro Fracking and the Next Great American Boom. And it's not the future. It's happening right now. I mean, I'm sure all of you have heard the stories of North Dakota and how the state has like one of the lowest unemployment rates in the United States because there's so much business happening up there, so much work happening up there, and it's being credited, that good fortune is being credited to hydrofracking or fracking, or the way I understand it, I guess they inject fluid, I think water, hot water maybe, into the ground. Our guest is going to help me understand this better. And that pushes out the trapped natural resources that can be then turned into some kind of a fuel. And I don't know if it's the same thing that we use for gasoline, if it's raw oil, or if it's, I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out right now. But before we say hi to our guest, I wanted to tell you this. Is that here in the state of Florida, while I haven't heard that we've had any proposals, I know that our legislature has created some rules for the day that this does happen. And the concern that I have, now I'm all for, let's go for the oil, let's be independent, but I'm a little bit reluctant when I think about doing it at the peril of our water. I mean, we've got such a beautiful system of rivers here in Florida, and it's all connected to that underground thing called the aquifer, right? And I'm afraid it's just like when they were talking about that cross Florida barge canal.
Yes.
You know, I wasn't old enough to really worry about it, but in looking back at it, it looks like the people who were worried about it were worried that the cross Florida barge canal would destroy the aquifer, and the clear, beautiful rivers that we take for granted wouldn't be necessarily so clear and beautiful anymore. I don't know. And so that's the same concern, I guess, that we have about the fracking. But we want to be independent. The beautiful thing about Greg Kozera is this. He's an engineer. He's the president of the Virginia Oil and Gas Association. He's also an environmentalist. So he really does have both areas of expertise he can talk to us about. He's not only representing Greenpeace. I guess you could say it that way. Greg, it's an honor to have you on our show. Thank you so much. The book, again, is called Just the Fracks Man. Greg Kozera. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Larry. Good to talk to you.
Where are you right now? Where are you calling from?
I am calling from West Virginia, of all places.
West Virginia. Any fracking going on up there?
Oh, from my house, I got 3 wells that we fracked years ago. So my entire life we've lived among the oil and gas wells. I mean, that's just been my business.
So I guess the question I would ask first is this, because I believe that we can learn from examples. Do we have any examples of fracking or fracturing, whatever you call it, hydrofracking, that has taken place near underground water supplies, and what has the effect been?
Oh, we've always. I mean, you know, to get to the oil and gas, we always have to drill through the surface waters. And when we do that, Larry, there's multiple pieces of pipe that go into the ground, steel pipe that are cemented, and people worry about it, and they should. I mean, water is life. But you know what people don't worry about is their neighbor. I've got all these gas wells around me, and we don't have a problem with our water, and I don't worry about them because they're regulated, and I know what they put in the ground. What I worry about is my neighbor who's got a piece of pipe in the ground sucking water out of the same place that I'm sucking out of, and I don't know where his septic is, and I don't know what he's dumped in his backyard. And matter of fact, a friend of mine works for Ohio State, and I said, you know, he was worried about the same thing. And I said, for instance, Randall, I said, they can have their well next to their pig pen. And, you know, I just went on, and he stopped me. He said, Greg, you do know that's where the Amish put their water wells. And I said, where? He said, they put them next to the pig pen so they don't have to haul water. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, you know, we're worried about these wells that are 5 or a mile deep, and we've got a piece of pipe next to a pig pen, and all that stuff goes down along the pipe into the water. And so we really need to be worried about our local water supply, because every time somebody comes to me with, I got a water problem, do you know what it is? 99 times out of 100, it's fecal chloride, which comes from human waste.
Oh, my goodness.
That worries me. If I'm in Florida and I got a water well, I don't care if somebody wants to drill a gas well. I don't care about that. What I'm worried about is that guy next door. Where in the heck is his septic? Is it next to my? Is it across the property line next to my water well, or has he changed his oil and he dumped that oil in his backyard and staying into my water? That's what we ought to be worried about, and we don't.
Okay, so this just to separate the two, that's a really cool topic. I didn't think of that. But just going back to the fracking in specifically, so what you're saying is that there are no examples of fracking dirtying or corrupting the water in some way.
No, and I think Lisa Jackson, who headed up the EPA under the beginning of the Obama administration, made that same statement. And I think maybe what may help your listeners.
But that's good news. I'm not challenging it. I'm just wondering about it.
Well, and really, there's good reasons for it, because it's all about the water that we drink from is usually cup 200 feet. Well, where we frack is half a mile, a mile and a half deep.
Really?
So much and it's kind of like, Florida doesn't have a lot of hills, but when you try to, nobody wants to go uphill. I mean, it's hard. If you're going to bike up it or walk up it or whatever.
Right.
Well, water's the same way. If it's at a mile deep, the last thing water wants to do is fight through 5,000 feet of rock to get into somebody's water. The most danger we have to our water supply is from the surface down. So when we're cased off, when we're below the surface, it doesn't. You physically can't push that water up that high. But here's what's really important that a lot of folks don't realize is what we're doing. And I think I heard you mention in the beginning is what we do when we frack those wells. And it's kind of like if you were in downtown Orlando at rush hour trying to get out of town.
Right.
It's a challenge. Now, if we had a 20-lane highway going east and west from Orlando, and we had a lot of little 4-lane feeder roads coming off that, you could get out of town or into town really quick. And that's really all this whole fracking process does, because the gas and the oil that we produce is actually not in a big cave. It's actually in the rock itself. It's hard to imagine.
So help me understand oil drilling in general. In the past, when we had those oil wells in Texas, I guess those are dried up. But any oil well that when we picture in our mind that big rocking pendulum-looking thing, they did not use a fracking type of procedure. They just simply tapped into it the way we tap into water?
No, actually. And this is something most people don't know either. Almost every well in the United States now requires hydraulic fracturing. We've been doing it since 1947. And back in the 30s, you used to see those booms, those wells that would, the oil would just flow over the top of the air.
Right.
Well, we don't have those anymore. Now, South still have some of those things where they can actually flow a 9-inch pipe full of oil, but we don't have that stuff.
Okay, so like a movie version, maybe what I'm picturing, maybe I don't know reality, but in the movie version, they would show it gushering out like Old Faithful. That was because of pressure from water?
No, that was the oil reservoirs they were what we called overpressured. So what happened, the gas and oil wanted to come out. So when you actually drilled into those things back in the 30s, that gas would actually flow.
Oh, okay.
To the surface. So we don't have those anymore. And the rocks, what we're producing now out of these shales in like North Dakota, is actually if you could picture a piece of shale, or even if you even look at a sandstone, that oil and gas is actually in the pores of that. And it's hard to imagine. It's like, there's really stuff in there. And yeah, there is.
Do we know what oil actually is? Do we actually know what oil is?
Sure. And it's really, I think Disney does a great job of it at Epcot, describing where it comes from, and it's decomposed plant and animal matter. So we a lot of it does come from the age of the Triassic, the dinosaurs, and the plants that decomposed, and under pressure, they basically formed.
And that's what I thought. I mean, that's what we've been told, and that's what I thought. But I've heard other opinions. I've heard that it's not finite; that it actually keeps being produced.
Well, and that's true. There is what they call biogenic, because what you have, for instance, even in places like Florida and the sewers in Orlando generate gas, and we're still seeing
Greg,
reservoirs that we continue to generate.
Greg, I need to interrupt because we need to take a break, but we'll be right back. And I'm finding this so fascinating, and I guess we did the surface level. We'll get deeper into the subject when we come back. We'll be right back. This is fascinating.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A mix of sun and clouds today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm later on today. High 89 to 92. There'll be a shower or thunderstorm around this evening. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies tonight. Low 73 to 77. And tomorrow we have times of sun and clouds with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. High 91 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Stephanie Omo.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready to update your look with the latest trends. And with summer here, it's the perfect time to brighten up your look. So make your appointment now for those highlights and Brazilian blowout. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala Restore at 926 Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give us a call at 401-0075 and we'll come pick it up. For more information, visit ocalarestore.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County. Building homes, building hope, building community.
All right, thank you. Let's return now. Greg Kozera is on the phone in West Virginia, beautiful West Virginia, by the way. Although I did get dizzy driving on those roads one time. It was just too many curves.
Beautiful roads.
Greg is an engineer with a master's degree in environmental engineering and an environmentalist with more than 35 years of experience in the natural gas and oil industry. And we're talking about fracking. His book is called The Truth About Hydrofracking and the Next Great American Boom. I just want to read one little piece of the book and go back to Greg. If there is a natural disaster like an earthquake or a major flood anywhere on the planet, the United States is always there with aid, he writes. And then he goes on to say, the United States has fought 2 world wars for the cause of freedom. And then he says this, if the Creator wanted to reward the United States of America for all that it has done for the world, he did just that with the Marcellus Shale. So let's go there. What is the Marcellus Shale, and how is that a reward? It sounds like a good thing. Greg, thank you for waiting during the break. We're back now, and let's talk about this a little bit. It sounds like we have this wonderful resource. North Dakota is a great example of this, isn't it?
Oh, it is. But here's the thing: the Marcellus Shale, which stretches from New York State through Pennsylvania, Ohio, down into West Virginia, and maybe into parts of Virginia, is the second largest natural gas field on the entire planet. And it's right in the Northeast where the Rust Belt is, where Ohio, Pennsylvania, all the steel mills are gone. I mean, there's a ton of unemployment. And that's also where most of the natural gas is used. And in our wildest dreams to be able to put that second largest natural gas field on the planet right in the middle of that area. And I'll tell you how prolific it is, Larry, Robin, is we're shipping gas. I mean, for the last 50 years, natural gas has always come from the Gulf Coast up pipelines into the Northeast, to Philadelphia, New York, Pittsburgh, whatever. Now, we're actually shipping gas out of the Northeast south and into places like North Carolina, into Canada, and even over into the Midwest, into Chicago. I mean, can you imagine the area that uses the most gas in the country has enough gas that we can actually ship it out, and we're turning around. Cove Point basically was built. There were 16 of these terminals built in the late 90s, early 2000s to bring natural gas into the United States. We are beginning, there's already 4 of them on the Gulf Coast that we've turned around in Texas, Louisiana to ship gas out. Cove Point is another one that we're going to be shipping gas out of Cove Point. Half of it goes to Japan, the other half goes to India. And can you imagine, we're actually able to export gas. We have that much. And it's huge because it provides a whole lot of jobs. But from an environmental standpoint, think about it. If you're in India or even China, they've got no environmental controls, no law. I mean, they burn a lot of coal and they put a lot of carbon in the atmosphere. We're actually shipping natural gas over there that they can burn instead of coal. What's that do for us? It changes the planet, because anything that goes in the air over there doesn't stay in China or India. It comes to us.
That's right. Yeah.
So what's happened with the Marcellus? We're seeing jobs, we're seeing tax revenues, and we're actually seeing the other thing that most people don't realize, that we have lowered CO, and this is really important for your listeners. We've lowered CO2 emissions in the United States to the Kyoto treaty levels. Now, what that means, Washington's goal, their plan was the only way we could do this, we needed to have a carbon tax, and they're still talking about that when you pass a carbon tax, it hurts. Who gets hit first? Seniors, because they're on a fixed income. Their utility bills go up. Middle class, their utility bills go up. They've got to pay more. My mother, at 90 years old, Larry, her gas bill went down $100 a month in Pittsburgh. Now, for a 90-year-old woman, $100 a month is absolutely huge. And the guys in Washington wanted to raise her gas bill. Now, think about what that meant. And we didn't even have to use our tax dollars to do that. We can actually fuel. I mean, think about all the additional household income that creates for seniors. But more importantly, it gives us stability. We don't need to depend on Russia and OPEC for our natural gas.
Well, and I guess the two big questions that everybody wants to know. Everyone wants the truth, and I mean, if you have an agenda, then I guess you don't want the truth. But if you just want the truth, you want to know two things: will we be able to make money from this, and will we be able to maintain a clean environment? Because a lot of people, myself included, we don't want to sacrifice the clean environment. I mean, you have to weigh everything, but I wouldn't want to. But it sounds like you're saying that wouldn't happen anyway. By the way, just to say,
what's important about the environment, though, and I've made this statement and I can back it up. The natural gas industry in the last 5 years has done more to clean up the planet, and I'm talking about lowering CO2 here in the United States while the rest of the world is increasing their CO2. We're bringing factories back here to operate under our environmental law instead of somebody else's environmental law. We've actually done more for the planet in the last 5 years. We've created an incredible amount of wildlife habitat. Then you put the environmental groups, put the EPA together, and I believe we've done more than all those people combined.
Oh, I think so too. And just so you know, we've had, as guests on our show, we've had our share of those who were extreme environmentalists, I would say. I consider myself an environmentalist, okay? But I'm not so stupid to not notice when somebody's extreme in any direction. And we've had the extremists who have tried to convince us that we shouldn't be doing anything. And the one question that always stops them in their tracks, always, Greg, it is always this one. It is, well, you're saying we're doing pretty bad, but aren't we doing better than China? They always have to think, oh, whoa, I didn't hear that. I didn't see that one coming. And it's. I mean, you see it in the news. There's a guy in China. I can't remember what city he was in. He was in a hotel. He showed a picture outside of his window. You couldn't even see a block. It was so dirty, the air.
CBS ran a story a few months ago where if you're elite, if you have the money, you can send your children in China to a special school that has those bubble type things that we used to play tennis in and stuff like that here in state. And Florida has them. Well, that's what they have recess in because they have clean air. If you're
wow.
Your kids have to play with masks on outside. And you're right. And the thing is, what bothers me is these same folks are trying to shut down our export of natural gas. And I'm thinking, how can you call yourself an environmentalist when we're going to send something over there that's going to clean things up, and you don't want it to happen?
Interesting, yeah. I love the fact that your book gives us the tools so that when we go to Thanksgiving, we can argue with the person who doesn't agree with you.
Another thing is, people don't know. I was playing golf. I get to go to Florida a lot. I take the grandkids to Disney all the time. So we're down with the grandkids in May, playing golf with a couple business people from the Orlando area, and we talk. And I tell them, what we do, and I told them I'm in the natural gas industry. And these two guys said they're smart people, Larry. They're smart, and they say, well, yeah, we get our electricity down here from wind and solar. And I said, really? I said, tell me something, guys, because I've been down here in the summer. When it's midnight and your air conditioner's ginning away, and the sun's not shining and the wind's not blowing, where's that electricity coming from? And they both got these blank looks on their face and said, oh, hadn't thought about that. Yeah, it is.
So when
in Florida, you get 62% of your electricity from natural gas. The only state that gets more electricity from natural gas is Texas. 2% of the electricity in Florida is generated by wind and solar. Isn't that amazing?
I didn't know that. It's an interesting figure. By the way, when you're in Florida, do people confuse you for Adam Putnam? You look like him.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Adam Putnam?
I don't know that I have. I've been confused with Bill Gates. I can assure you.
You don't look like Bill Gates. No, you got to look up Adam Putnam. Adam Putnam is the agriculture commissioner for the state of Florida. You look just like him.
What?
We're going to do a Disney cruise in September, so we'll be back down your way.
One thing your book does is also you have some myths that are listed in the book. One is about health, and you attack that with reverence, we think.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm trying to look up a picture of Adam Putnam so I can show Robin how much Greg Kozera looks like. And I can't believe you're a grandfather. Wow, you look so young. All right, so do we have any? Well, first of all, I wanted to know when you say natural gas, is that able to be converted into usable gas for cars, or is that only used for like energy production?
I'm glad you asked that because here's what we're doing, and we always hear, particularly in Washington, they keep talking about renewables, and believe me, I'm not against renewables because our industry uses more solar than anybody, but we always hear about we're going to get on renewables and get off foreign oil, and I said that's what kind of like the checks in the mail type stuff because until we convert transportation to something else, and here's what we're doing right now. It talks about it in the book. Iran, Pakistan literally have over 1 million vehicles that run on natural gas. They run their vehicles on natural gas from their wealth, and they sell the West oil at $100 a barrel. And that's a pretty smart move on their part. And what we're beginning to do as a country is convert vehicles to natural gas. And as we make that conversion, because right now, and here, this is really important for your listeners, we are, right today, and we did it in 5 years with good old American ingenuity, we've gone from energy poor, thanks to the Marcellus and the stuff that's happening in North Dakota and the stuff that's happening in Texas, we are the energy gorilla of the planet. We've got more energy than anybody.
Yeah, man, I like hearing that. Okay, I wish we had more time to talk, but I want to make sure we squeeze in the information so people can get the book. First of all, good news for one person out there. I've got a copy of the book. Call me if you want it. It's yours. The rest of us have to go buy it. It's a small, thin book, but it'll give you some great information if you want to know the truth about fracking. Next time you're at your next community discussion with your congressman or your state representative and this comes up, here's a whole list of truthful facts about fracturing, hydrofracking, whatever it's called, by Greg Kozera. Call me if you want this one. The number is 622-9622. Greg, do you have a website we can get the book from?
thefracksbook.com, and also the book's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all those online websites, Walmart. If you're online, you can get it from any of those online places. It's also an ebook, or you can go to my website, justthefracksbook.com, and it's written. My editor was from New York City. He made me take all the technical terms out. There aren't any engineering terms in it. It's written for the average American so they can understand it.
Great
book.
Greg, thank you so much for being on the show and for writing the book. JustTheFracsBook.com is the website. The book, if you're getting it on Amazon or in a bookstore, Just the Fracs Ma'am. Greg Kozera, Kozera. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Larry.
All right, great conversation. We'll be right back.
Call me anytime. Thanks.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The NCAA settles a head injury lawsuit, agreeing to create a $70 million fund to diagnose thousands of current and former college athletes to determine if they suffered brain trauma playing contact sports. The settlement still subject to approval by a U.S. district judge. A fourth week of fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas.
Israel Defense Forces are telling us this morning that they targeted 150 separate buildings, really going, it would seem, for the infrastructure.
Jonathan Samuels with Fox Sister Network Sky News on the Israel-Gaza border.
The only power plant on the Gaza Strip was hit. A big tank full of fuel exploded, causing a massive fire.
Palestinian health official says at least 100 Palestinians have been killed in fighting today. And a sheriff says the 9-year-old girl struck by a crashing plane on a Florida beach has died. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get the stupid document notarized.
Well, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
News Talk 1370 WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A mix of sun and clouds today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm later on today. High 89 to 92. There'll be a shower or thunderstorm around this evening. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies tonight. Low 73 to 77. And tomorrow we have times of sun and clouds with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. High 91 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Stephanie Omo.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. Damage control.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Joe Reichel is in the studio. That means some women will be passing the window any minute and waving at Joe. Oh, you've got a camera. And if you have a question for Joe, if you need to know the show, it's called Damage Control, if you're not already familiar with it. And, of course, Joe is one of the owners of Damage Control Services. He's taking a selfie right now.
I'm not sure how to turn it on.
Is that Robin's camera?
Yeah.
Oh, you just going to leave her a photo of yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you have some do-it-yourself home fixer-upper questions, this is a good time to call them in. Joe will help you out with them. And, of course, if you need more than the help that you can provide yourself, and your brother-in-law isn't good at this stuff either, then Joe can tell you who to call, or perhaps call Joe, because that's what he does. So how you doing? Good morning. The phone number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. Not working?
I was going to take a selfie and leave it for Robin. But
I think a selfie, you have to aim it toward yourself.
Well, I was going to, but I couldn't figure out how to turn it on.
So you aimed it at me?
Well, I was just playing. I didn't get a picture of you either.
Oh, no.
So Robin's without pictures of us. Poor Robin.
We're embedded in her memory.
Yeah.
I think. So how are you? Got a bunch of different shirts. You got a lot of different shirts with your name on
it. Yeah, I have. I think I'm up to 24 or 28 different work shirts.
Oh, really?
All different colors, and all of them. I think all of them, but one or two have.
Every girl's crazy about a sharp dressed man. You know that, right?
That's why I keep trying to buy. Keep buying more shirts because I keep trying.
All right, you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Good morning, Larry. It's Dale. We haven't spoken in a long time. How are you?
Hey, good, Dale. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you. I have some questions for your guest.
Go ahead.
First of all, good morning. And I am trying to consider pulling up my carpeting in my house without getting pneumonia or a bad asthma attack and putting something non-toxic that doesn't give off VOCs to replace the carpeting without spending a fortune. And, I went into one store and they had no idea what I was talking about.
Right. Well, I know what you're talking about. I just cannot think of a product right now. Maybe a laminate flooring may not do the VOC, be okay for you there. That is one thing. You're talking about pulling up carpet, and there's a lot of dust and stuff that people don't realize as far as the amount of dirt and dust that collects in carpet. Even though you vacuum it regularly, you still, especially down here, we get the sand and all that gets in the carpet and continues to stay in the padding. So whenever you take that out, there's a lot to clean up, a lot that's left. I was thinking stained concrete, maybe something along that line would probably be a good option for you. But
I did do some research, and real linoleum, real cork, tiles, some wood products, some engineered wood, and some laminates. You're right, there are brands that don't, put off the VOCs, but I also have to have someone come in who's sensitive to doing it in such a way that it's not going to kill me.
I'm guessing that you're have bad allergies?
Allergies, yes.
Okay. Would you consider moving out of the house for a couple days while this is done so that
I absolutely would move out of the house.
Okay. Well,
no question about it.
I would definitely, without looking at it, I would think probably an engineered wood or a laminate wood flooring, something like that you could use would be a real good product. You wouldn't need to glue that down, so you don't have to worry about the VOCs from the glue. And it does a very nice product. Any type of product you'd have to glue down, that would be one that you'd have to. I would be concerned with the chemical off-gassing.
Right. Right. So does your company do things like that, or do I have to look elsewhere for installers?
We do that all the time. We've got installers that we use that are on our payroll that actually do that. So are you wanting to do several rooms or a whole house, or what are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the budget. Depends on what's out there. Because, of course, the things that are more green and that are more air-friendly without the VOCs are more expensive.
Yes, they are more expensive. I know John, or JP over at Penn Flooring, he would be able to direct you in the right direction there as far as giving you ideas, things you could use and products. He's been on the show here with us before. That would probably be a good idea to have him back on and talk specifically about this type of thing.
Yeah.
I haven't.
It hasn't come up yet. Yeah.
No, this is the first time. People have been sensitive to chemicals and whatnot before that we've worked with, and even a tile floor. Have you thought about tile?
Yes, I have. I'm not crazy about tile, but it's supposed to be the best after stained concrete in keeping down the allergies and chemicals. Yes.
Tile
and the thing is, when you go to replace your kitchen, should people want to do that if they're chemically sensitive? There's companies out there, but local people just don't seem to understand about it.
Well, and that is something that unless you have a similar situation or know someone in that case, it is hard for us to. I'm not really allergic to anything. I used to be allergic to poison ivy, and I don't even get that anymore. So I don't have, I typically don't have any sneezing fits or things that as far as that affect me that way. And even sometimes we go into the homes that, as far as molds and things like that, and it doesn't seem to bother me. I'm not hanging out there for a long period of time, but I'm not very sensitive to those type of things. So it is hard for us who, unfortunately, who aren't in that situation to understand or to be completely compassionate.
Right. So your company does more than just damage control. You come in and work on renovating and other things like that.
Yes, we do. We can take care of it as far as do all of the demolition and then rebuild. There's things that we could do also. We have equipment. It's called an air scrubber. Basically, what that does is we set it up in a room and extract it to the outside. Make a
seal.
Make a tunnel basically to the outside so that it could, and basically what it does is it pulls the air from the house into this machine and then puts it outside. So it gets rid of all the dust particles and things like that in the air. So a lot of times when we do a mold job or even some fire jobs, you have to use an air scrubber in order to clean the particles out of the air. Ben Hahn.
Okay, that sounds fabulous. Now, is your information listed on WOCA's website?
My contact information is there. Or you could also reach me at joe@damage Florida. That's my email, all spelled out, joe@damageflorida.com.
Okay, I'm in the car driving to work, so that's
yes, I believe my information is on the website.
Let me look to make sure. I think it is too.
Or you could call Larry anytime and Larry.
Yeah, you know what you do, Dale? If you go to WOCA.com and then go to the name of our show, which is AM Ocala Live, then you scroll down. There's a few green banners, and one says Damage Control with Joe Reichel. You click on that, and it looks like it takes you to his site. Yeah, it does. It takes you to Damage Control's website, which has the phone number right on there.
Great, because I do want to consult with him. My sister, who is also chemically sensitive but didn't realize it, had a company come in to pull up her carpeting on the second floor in where she lives, and she has pets, and she ended up in the hospital for 9 weeks with a chemically induced pneumonia.
Oh my.
So we have to be careful in our family, and I know there's plenty of people with multiple chemical sensitivities.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people that are. I know, my some of my family has food allergies, and that's something that's hard to understand too, because most of us eat just whatever we want. So.
Right. Well, it was good to talk to you, and I thank you for the information.
You're welcome, Dale. Thank you for calling. Look forward to hearing from you.
I'm Stephanie. The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A mix of sun and clouds today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm later on today. High 89 to 92. There'll be a shower or thunderstorm around this evening. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies tonight. Low 73 to 77. And tomorrow we have times of sun and clouds with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. High 91 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Stephanie Omo.
Step right up. Come see the scary, mind-boggling, two-faced man. Marvel at how DC Yoho funded Obamacare, then enrolled in it. Behold how District 10 claims to be conservative, then votes for increased spending and more taxes. Witness how Yoho can be two people in two different places. He's DC Yoho and District 10.
Jake Rush is the man we need to replace Ted Yoho. Jake Rush was an Alachua County Sheriff's deputy, is a constitutional attorney, and has pledged an oath 3 times on the Holy Bible to uphold and defend the Constitution. His focus is on the economy, decreasing spending, and holding the government accountable. Jake Rush is not a politician. He's a conservative straight shooter who will put a stop to the outrageous Washington spending, balance the budget, and repeal Obamacare. On August 26th, vote Jake Rush for Congress and make a difference in your future. Visit JakeRushForCongress.com.
I'm Jake Rush, and I approve this message.
Sign up for this year's Marion County Heart Walk and be part of a local movement that's helping others live longer, healthier lives. Join me, Corey Poole, your 2014 Marion County Heart Walk Chairman, and walk with me on Saturday, October the 4th at the Baseline Road Trailhead. It's a free event promoting physical activity and heart-healthy living. To find out how you can help fight the #1 killer of all Americans, visit us online at marionheartwalk.org.
It's rodeo time in Florida. The 32nd annual Ocala Shrine Rodeo returns with the best of man, muscle, and a stampede of horsepower. August 29th and 30th, witness America's #1 sport and the greatest show on dirt. Showtime, 7:30 each night at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. For rodeo information, call 352-402-8808. August 29th and 30th. Don't miss the Ocala Shrine Rodeo.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
On which day are we most likely to have a tension headache? If you guess Monday, well, you're right on. If you want to get noticed, just smile more often. People, it turns out, spot others whose teeth they're showing when they smile twice as fast as those who have closed mouths. And they don't want to go where you want to go. They don't want to do what you like to do. If that sounds familiar, focus on your other friends.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Yep. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
See, I've got a large storage shed in my backyard. It was built when the house was built, and it's going on about 23, 24 years old. It's wood on a concrete base, but it's got a stucco finish. About 5 or 6, maybe 7 years ago, I scraped a little bit here and there, and I repainted it. Looked good. I got the same problem starting up again. I'm thinking I'd like to have your ideas on it, what you think about either going with vinyl or aluminum out there. Which would be the best for me?
I would I mean, are you planning on re-siding the whole thing, or just going over what's there, or what's your thought?
Well, the whole thing is stucco now with paint, and I want to do the whole shed either in vinyl or aluminum. And I can't make up my mind what I want to do.
So you're thinking about taking the stucco off of it, or just going right over the top?
Oh, I'd like to go right over it if I can.
I mean, you can. I mean, I'm saying you can without looking at it. That's the only thing. I would. That's a great question, and I don't know that I really have an opinion either way. The thing about siding, whichever you do, vinyl or aluminum siding, those have a tendency to fade. They're not necessarily meant to be painted. I mean, although you can, it's not necessarily meant that way. It's meant to be a one-time, and it's good. I don't really like either one of them, honestly. If I'm going to put siding on something, I like to use the hardy board siding. That's a cementuous siding. It lasts forever and ever. Can be repainted. I mean, it comes primed, and then you just paint it. So that's the route that I prefer to go.
Would that be more pricey than aluminum or vinyl?
It probably is. I mean, vinyl is going to be your cheapest, I believe. But I'm not real sure. Those are some pretty pink socks. I'm not real sure how that would be fastened, though. I'm not sure the best.
I'm not wearing the pink socks,
by
the way. Just so you know, Joe wasn't talking to me. Just so you know.
I'm not sure the best way to fasten to the stucco, though. That would be. I would have to look at it and then maybe come up with some ideas. But
you mean as far as that cement board you're talking about?
As far as whatever siding you're using, whatever you were going to go with, you'd have to make sure it's fastened right.
Yeah. There's no way you can cement that down besides nailing it, huh?
Well, I mean, if you're going through stucco, you'd have to get through the stucco. So whatever you're using has to go through the stucco and then into, I'm guessing it has plywood, if it's a wood frame structure. So
the stucco itself is very thin because I had a couple spots where it was chipping off and I scraped and painted over it, and there's not much stucco there.
So you'd probably be able to just screw it on.
Yeah.
Maybe a little pre-drill to get through the stucco, pre-drill with a masonry bit, and then into the plywood.
I'll take a look at that masonry. That sounds kind of interesting, and it seems that it would hold up pretty good.
Well, that would
down here,
and here's the thing too. I mean, with vinyl siding, anytime you use vinyl siding, a lot of times people use vinyl skirting around a mobile home. For example, I'm using that just as illustration purpose. And if you look along the home, anywhere that a lawnmower or something hits that, it'll bust it.
That's right.
A lot of times weed eaters, somebody's weed eating, you'll always see where the weed eater cuts the vinyl siding. So you got to be careful with vinyl whenever you get close to the ground if you're going to be doing any type, if you've got any type of grass around it for mowing purposes. Aluminum kind of.
Yeah, very good. I never thought of that, and that would be a problem. So maybe I'm better off going with that concrete board or whatever you call it.
That definitely would be the hardiest of the. It's called hardy board, or hardy plank. That would be the hardiest of all of them as far as what would last the best in the conditions. So.
Is that fairly easy to cut, or do you have to have a certain piece of equipment?
Typically, you use a diamond blade, and you use it you can cut it with a circular saw with a diamond circular saw blade. When we're doing a lot of it, we'll use a chop saw, which is just a bigger saw with a diamond blade. So I think it's a 14-inch blade.
Yeah, I think I'll give you guys a buzz. You can come on and give me an estimate on that. I think that concrete board sounds pretty good to me.
We'd be happy to take a look at doing that for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hey, you have a great day.
Okay.
Thanks for the call.
If you have a question for Joe Reichel, the phone number right now is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. So just a question about the vinyl. Does sitting in the sun, if you're putting vinyl siding up, I mean, eventually it's going to be up there for a while. The longer it's out in the sun, the more brittle it get, like other plastics?
Well, it's not supposed to.
But do you think it does?
I think it does.
See, everything gets old. I mean, if you're out in the sun every day.
Yeah, exactly. It's plastic.
Yeah.
It's plastic, so it's going to get more brittle. I mean, a lot of people use it. I was at a house yesterday that had caught fire, taking a look at the work that needs done, and the gable has vinyl on the gable, and the heat from that fire caused it's just melted it right off. You can see, that's like dripping almost is what it looks like. So, it's plastic, so it's susceptible to the environment and whatever's around it. So
the hardy board that you talk about, is it heavy? Does that?
It's not light.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not light.
Yeah.
So that takes a couple of guys to work it. You can't just do that by yourself, can you?
One person can do it.
Yeah.
If two guys are working together, you can do it really fast.
A lot faster.
A lot faster, because you can hold both ends and.
But is it flat?
It's a 1/4 inch thick.
Okay. But like people like the vinyl because of that layered look.
Well, this has a layered look too.
Oh, it does.
You step it.
I see.
Or one right on top of the other.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lap look.
Oh, okay.
A lap.
Well, that does sound like a good idea then.
And it comes in smooth or wood grain, and some of them have a decorative edge to them.
And it fastens with a screw?
You can screw it on, or you can also use a roofing gun and nail it on. Yeah.
So the fact that it's, we don't call it concrete board, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is concrete board.
Yeah.
So, but a nail wouldn't shatter the concrete?
It's like a fibrous concrete.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily a hunk of concrete.
And in fact, I think
it's very flexible. I mean, you pick it up, if one person picks it up in the middle, like if you just, they come 12 foot long. If you grab it in the middle and just pick it up, it'll break. So you've got to, kind of spread yourself out, reach both directions.
Yeah. I would have stopped talking too for a moment there. When we were tearing down the old walls here, I believe some of those old walls because I remember lifting some of them, they were so heavy.
Possible.
And others were just simple, plain old drywall.
That could have been a plaster of some sort.
It felt like concrete, though.
Yeah.
It had a concrete feel to it. It was super heavy. Mm-hmm. I believe it was the ones that had the tile attached to it.
Right.
So you had tile
it probably had some concrete board to it.
Yeah.
In order as a backing.
Right where that wall is over there, that door. That's where it was.
It had probably did as far as having a concrete backing if it had tile on it. So
just going back to Dale's call earlier about the chemicals that are released.
Right.
I wonder how many people are experiencing the allergy because didn't she say her sister or somebody?
People, and that's the thing. People are allergic to different things. A lot of times people don't even know what they're allergic to. Whether it's food or chemicals or whatever your sensitivities are, unless you're tested, you don't.
Because I don't know if you remember Carol, or maybe you came on board here after Carol was no longer here, but Carol was one of the sales ladies for WOCA, and we worked at the Cascades. Mm-hmm. She would have these really bad headaches, and her doctor told her, I hope I'm not speaking out of line, but that because that was a pretty moldy place, because it was always wet and mold, and I never noticed it. Like you say, you don't notice it, but other people did.
Yeah, people are allergic to different things and have sensitivities that others don't have. So, speaking of sensitivities, the guys, one of our guys, Steve, is out. We got a phone call for a break-in.
Oh.
So we had to go out there, and the people broke a sliding glass door and a window.
And did they steal?
I'm not sure what all they did go through jewelry, I guess, but I think is what happened. But I'm not sure what all they got. But it was a shame, and we're going out there to look at fixing the window and the door now. So.
Wow. Did they have a security system?
No.
No. See, again, going.
We're also another job. Speaking of non-security system, I don't know why this reminded me of it, but we're doing a complete demolition of a master bathroom and then redoing it.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Nearly 3 years after the first of several concussion lawsuits were filed by ex-athletes, a settlement.
The NCAA is settling a class action suit involving head injuries brought on by current and former players. A $70 million fund is being created to diagnose and determine if players suffered brain trauma.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso. Continued clashes between Israeli forces and Hamas.
The pressure continues to grow for a ceasefire because of the mounting and growing death toll.
Fox's John Huddy on the Israeli-Gaza border. According to Palestinian officials,
in Gaza, 100 people were killed today. More than 1,200 have been killed so far. More than 6,200 have been injured. And here in Israel, 56 people have been killed, 3 civilians.
And home ownership in the U.S. hitting a 19-year low in the second quarter. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites, and now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
It's time for Farm and Ranch Headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Randall Wiseman in for Tyron Spearman. One topic during last week's Southern Peanut Growers Conference in Panama City was China. This was a country brought up by one of the speakers, Jeff Birdsong, and Cindy Zimmerman caught up with him afterwards.
What are we looking at there in China as far as peanuts?
I think China, the long-term trend, they're going to be producing a little bit less every year as younger people move to the cities and there are fewer young laborers in the countryside. Also, China is really emphasizing rice, wheat, and corn and putting less emphasis on peanuts. So I think you'll see a slight downtrend in production and a slight increase in consumption. So it's a good trend for us.
What are the challenges for the Chinese market?
The biggest challenge is the 28% duty. That adds about $200 a farmer stock ton to the price, and it just makes it prohibitive.
How important is China?
It could be extremely important to the country and to the industry because we're growing, we're yielding a lot more. Peanuts are becoming a pretty attractive crop for producers, so if you're going to increase your yield from 3,000 to 4,000 pounds, the peanuts have to go somewhere. So I think it could be extremely important. I think there'll be a big importer in years to come.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff. I'm Cindy Zimmerman.
Say so long to sleepless nights and stressful peanut seasons. Say so long to hoping your treatment is enough to control white mold. Say so long to guessing, wishing, and waiting. In 2015, you can bid all of these things farewell. Research shows that with the latest from Syngenta, white mold will be managed better than ever before because of a new active ingredient. Coming soon. Contact your Syngenta agronomist to find out more about the potential for your peanuts in 2015. Elatus is not yet registered for sale or use in the United States and is not being offered for sale.
This is the Southeast AgNet.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
All right, thank you. 6 minutes after 11 o'clock. Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday morning. Had a pretty good morning so far. Lots of great guests. And boy, that fracking conversation we had earlier, Robin, was really interesting. You know, you have to try to listen between the lines when somebody is talking to you. And that guy, you know, it's one of those things that you have to really pay attention to. I mean, everybody in our business is in our business. Nobody in our business, well, there might be a few exceptions, but nobody is really a scientist. Mm-hmm. You know, there's nobody really who does a radio show or a TV show or hosts anything. I mean, they're all in show business. And for some reason, a lot of them forget that. They think they're actually scientists because they've interviewed scientists and because they've decided to side with a side or whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, in listening to the gentleman, what was his name again? Greg Kozera?
Yes.
Talking about fracking. I mean, the best thing I have ever to use to make a decision about whether I am for something or against something, if it's possible, is to find somebody else who's already doing it and find out what their pros and cons are of doing whatever it is that they're doing. And in this case, it's fracking. And when once upon a time, crude oil used to literally come bubbling out of the ground. There was so much naturally occurring underground. And then that was all pretty much used up, and now they have to push it out. So the idea of fracking started with, according to this guy, the injection of pressurized water or pressurized fluid, usually water, or some kind of a saline water or something like that, right? Just to create pressure so that whatever oil is down there will come up. And now it turns out that this is huge, vast wealth of natural gas under the northeastern part of the United States. What was they called? The Marcellus?
Yes, shale.
The Marcellus shale?
Yes.
Which goes all the way from, I think he said, Maine down to Pennsylvania and down into, it goes from Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and so much gas is being produced there. And of course, we know about the natural gas that is coming out of North Dakota. Anyway, it was an interesting conversation. So
very fascinating stuff.
That's one type of energy. We have another type of energy we want to talk about right now, and it's your health. This is a Health Matters segment of our program, and we do not have a guest who is going to try to sell you a pill or a drink or a program or a hypnosis CD or something like that. It's simply an article that I found on a health website. and I wanted to kind of share it with you. When you get through the middle of the day, do you feel sleepy?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I need a nap. Well, we're up a long time.
We're up a long time. I mean, if you had, do you typically get a full 8 hours of sleep?
No.
No, me either.
No.
Me either. Not typically.
No.
Now, if you add the nap that I get in the middle of the day,
yeah,
like at noon when I'm doing an interview. No.
Yes.
If you add the nap I get like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to the nighttime sleep I get, then maybe I get I don't even think then I get a full 8 hours. They say it's really bad for you. You know, they say if you don't have good sleep, then you have false memories.
Yeah.
Well, I'm okay with false memories as long as they're good ones.
Exactly. They got to be fun.
I mean, basically, this is what the philosophers will always say: life is now. Mm-hmm. Life isn't yesterday, and life isn't tomorrow. They'll always tell you this, right? Life is now.
That's right.
Well, if life is now, then all I really have is this moment right here with this microphone and you.
Yeah.
And all my memories, and all my hopes for the future. Okay. Well, I can't really dwell on my hopes. I guess I can. Especially if I'm going on a vacation, that would be a nice thing to look forward to, right? But I can look back on my memories, and if my memories were pretty bland, and lack of sleep would excite them a little bit, I don't care if they're fake. It's kind of like that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, right, where he went on vacation but didn't really go anywhere.
That's right. Exactly.
So I have some information here that hopefully will help somebody get more energy, and we're going to try to see if this helps us at all.
Okay.
So what they say does not work. First of all, ways to boost your energy. Coffee, they say, does not work. Mm-hmm. I will say that's true.
Okay.
They say energy drinks do not work. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had one. Unless Gatorade is considered an energy drink.
Yeah, but I think they're talking about that 5-hour maximum stuff, and I just don't want to try them. We talked to a lady one day in Publix that she used one, and she said it helped her stay awake. She was all alert, but when it was time for her to come down, she was like bouncing off the walls. She didn't know what was happening to her.
Yeah,
It was
I remember
awful,
that.
so I am not trying any.
Well, I'll tell you this. In my younger days, when I used to drive a lot, and I used to go from college to college because I was a performer, and I would drive through the night sometimes, I often would take a product called No-Dose. It was a pill.
Yeah, that was real popular.
It almost looked like the same pill you put out to kill cockroaches.
Yeah, right.
In fact, it looked like the same box.
Yeah, they probably.
So how many? I mean, I don't even know if they still sell it, but I used to take No-Dose pills. Now, the way I read the packaging, if I remember right, it was 100% caffeine. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I don't know what that would do for. How old would I have been back in those days? 20-something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20-something.
Yeah, 20-something. So as a 20-something-year-old, to be taking that much caffeine probably was not that big of a deal, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I do remember the day I decided to not use it anymore. My eyelid was twitching, and I looked in the mirror of my car because I was driving, and you couldn't see it twitching. So it was like I felt it.
Oh my!
But it wasn't visible. Like somebody looking at me wouldn't go, "Whoa, what's going on with your eyelid?"
Yeah.
No, my eye was twitching. I blamed it on the No-Dose tablets and stopped taking them. Now I did drink coffee back then. In fact, that's when I started drinking coffee. And I guess I started because I had always heard it would keep you awake. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, I just decided I liked coffee, and I don't know that it ever made me any less sleepy. Mm-hmm. My trick to driving long periods of time and not falling asleep at the wheel or not getting sleepy at the wheel was the walk-around brake. And I know you know that. I would stop as soon as I felt anything close because it'll come on to you like in a heartbeat. All of a sudden, you're too tired and you're looking for a place and you're desperate.
Yeah.
But if you can kind of know the telltale signs, for me, it was scratching my neck, the back of my neck. If I found myself just involuntarily rubbing the back of my neck, okay, I got to find a place to stop and either take a nap in the car or walk around. And as a guy, as opposed to you ladies, I felt like it was easier to just stop at a rest area, put lean the seat back in the car and take a nap. I always felt like you ladies driving in my same circumstance by yourself, getting tired. I always felt like you ladies didn't have that convenience or that luxury of being, because my half of the human race is a little bit nutty sometimes.
Well, I have done that before. I have stopped at a rest area.
I know. I don't like it. I don't like hearing that. I don't like when ladies say they do this. I don't like when women say they walk the land bridge all by themselves or any trail. I know you'd like doing it. You like being independent, but there's nuts out there, and I don't like it. All right, so what does that have to do with energy? Nothing. Anyway, so let's see. Some quick fix energy boosters. It says here, do provide temporary results, although I would say that I never experienced them. And they can negatively affect your heart rate, which is what that lady said.
Yeah.
Also, those energy drinks can affect your blood pressure and your mood. And I have some information from a nutritionist named Deborah Enos, who has some information, 5 ways to boost your energy without resorting to energy drinks or even coffee or even no-dose tablets.
Don't like chemicals.
And I promise there's nothing that we're selling you with this segment. We need to take a little break and go to the weather report and a couple of commercials, and we'll be back with those 5 tips.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A mix of sun and clouds today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm later on today. High 89 to 92. There'll be a shower or thunderstorm around this evening. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies tonight. Low 73 to 77. And tomorrow we have times of sun and clouds with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. High 91 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Stephanie Olmo.
Hey Adam, those burgers gonna be done before summer's over?
Maybe. Why? You got big plans for the summer?
Not really. Just the usual, kids hanging around the house. How about you?
Actually, I'm having Joshua get his pilot's license this summer.
What? Is he old enough? Can you really do that in just the summer?
Yeah, you can get your pilot's license at 17, and the summer is plenty of time. Plus, this could be the start to his career as an airline pilot.
That is a great idea. I bet Tyler would love that. Actually, I would too.
You guys should do it.
I don't have time for that. Some of us have to work for a living, you know?
Not you, no. Seriously, they work around your schedule.
Really? That's cool. Where are you going?
Ocala Aviation at the airport off 60th.
How'd you hear about it?
I heard about it on the radio, then I stopped in. I've got a card if you want the number.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my phone.
Hurry up, the burgers are burning.
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
861-7484.
Hold on, I missed a number.
Such a slacker. Here it is again. 861-7484.
Excellent. I'm gonna call them now.
How about we eat before you start your new adventure?
That's probably a good idea.
You think?
Are you or a loved one struggling with trauma or substance abuse? Do you have questions that need answers? If so, join The Refuge and WOCA on Recovery Talk Wednesdays at 11 a.m., where we will discuss addictions and mental health disorders that affect our community. The Refuge is a leading detox, residential, and outpatient treatment center for adults struggling with addictions, co-occurring disorders, and trauma-related issues. Recovery Talk Wednesdays at 11 a.m.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
All right, 88 degrees here at the Paddock Mall. Thank you for tuning in. 18 minutes after 11 o'clock, getting ready for lunch, and I'm with you. Hey, the mall, by the way, wants you to know that they've got a little bit of an extension on their hours this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. These are the 3 days where you can buy school supplies tax-free. You got a tax-free weekend. And you've got some of that information. We'll do that at the end of this.
Yes, we do.
First, I want to do the ways. Oh, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? Good to see you.
She's so adorable.
So we have some ways to boost your energy. And this is information from nutritionist Deborah Enos. And the first one she says is exercise.
Okay, that makes sense.
She says exercise is a better way to boost your energy. If you're feeling fatigued, take a walk instead of a nap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is going to work for me. It says the reason is physical activity will raise your metabolism and blood flow to the brain, which pumps up your energy reserves. I will always encourage my clients to choose good blood flow over drooling during a nap.
Oh, man. She makes us sound like animals.
Wow.
Drooling.
Okay. All right. So instead of the nap, the daily nap, it's the daily walk.
Okay.
I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this
right.
today. Today when I get that wall, there's a wall I hit at about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to Patsy, I'll be right back.
Okay. There you go.
I'll be a mall walker.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, give that a shot.
Right. Yeah, but the only problem is, then I pass all the food in the mall. There's a lot of food in the mall.
And it's a $1 pretzel day at Auntie Annie's, too. For mall employees.
Yeah. All right. The next thing is to drink water or tea. She says, this is again Deborah Eno, she says that the cells in our bodies need to be hydrated to work efficiently.
Okay.
She recommends starting each day with a tall glass of water to replenish what was lost during sleep. I always drink a large amount of water when I first wake up, by the way.
No, me too. I love water.
It says drink throughout the day. When you get dehydrated, it will affect all of your systems, and you will feel, the dehydration will make you feel fatigued. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, look, I drink this. I mean, isn't club soda the same as water?
Yeah.
It's just got carbonation in it.
It fizzes.
By the way, I have a theory about water.
Okay.
I think when they say the only thing that hydrates you is water, that coffee and soda and Gatorade and all those other things don't really hydrate you, I think they're wrong. I think they do hydrate you. But I have a theory about water because we tried this with the litmus paper.
Yeah, we did.
Water was the only thing that we checked with litmus paper that was alkaline. Everything else was acidic. In fact, coffee was the least acidic of everything. Well, maybe tea.
Yeah, but that's
but Gatorade, which you would think is not acidic, was very acidic.
Yeah.
Soda was hugely acid, right? But water was very alkaline. And we have had our share of guests who seem to believe that alkalinity is a way to prevent cancer.
Yeah.
Right? So my thinking is this, that if you're going to drink water, drink it because it'll balance your pH more so than because it'll hydrate you. Because I think anything will hydrate you if it's liquid. That's my thinking. Now, again, go back to the first thing I said. I'm not a scientist. I just do a radio show. But that's just my hunch. But anyway, now, so she says drink water. It'll help you from being fatigued. Okay, so if you're tired, what do we know so far? Take a walk.
Yeah.
Or whatever exercise you choose. Maybe you got a bicycle you could ride. That'd be fun.
I think
get a bicycle ride around the mall.
Yeah. No, they kick us out. They were going to kick us out.
I meant the outside of the mall. I didn't mean in the mall.
One fella
I said around the mall, not in the mall.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Another thing is that it says there's no magic formula for how much water you should consume on a daily basis. If you exercise more or live in a warm climate, your water requirements will probably be higher. My body puts out so much water when I'm out there in that heat. When I cut the grass, I'm like a fountain.
Yeah, but you're using energy.
All right. So let's see. So number 1, don't take a nap, take a walk. Number 2, drink plenty of water. Number 3, eat breakfast.
Okay.
There's a reason experts say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Skipping a morning meal will not only leave you feeling hunger throughout the day and more likely to load up on unhealthy choices like snacks, but you'll also have lower energy if you don't fuel your body with a healthy meal soon after waking from sleep. So
that makes sense.
You don't do breakfast, right?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
No. I should.
All right, so I'm breaking all the rules. Number 4, there's only 5 of these things, and I'm up to number 4 already.
Okay.
So number 4, eat salmon. Am I saying it right? Salmon?
Yes.
SALMON?
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm supposed to say that L. Salmon.
No, that's if it's salmonella. Salmon is the L silent. Yeah. Salmonella, you got to pronounce the L.
Is rich in heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids that not only boost energy production, but also aid blood circulation and brain activity. If you don't like to eat fish, then fish oil supplements are your next best bet, she says. Some studies have suggested that athletes who take fish oil may reduce their oxygen consumption.
Gosh.
But more research is needed, she says. She adds that as with any supplement, I feel like John Tesh right now.
That's right. That's right. You sound like him now.
What is he? Yeah, I know. I felt like him.
Yeah.
And what does he say? Information. What does he call it? Smart radio or something?
Yeah. Something
Intelligence for your life. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is intelligence for your life.
Is that right?
Anyway, so the doctor, well, she's not a doctor, the nutritionist says that as with any supplement, you should consult your physician. So anyway, eat salmon or take a fish oil pill.
Okay.
But why salmon specifically? Is all fish oil from salmon?
That I don't know. Maybe the good kind is from salmon.
Oh, the only fish in the whole sea.
That's right. All the other ones.
The whole ocean is filled
count.
with fish.
Yeah.
The only one that's good for you is salmon.
That's right. I like tuna.
What's wrong with tuna?
I know. We like tuna.
I think all these health nuts. This is what they say: don't eat tuna because it's got mercury in it. Because there's mercury in the ocean. Well, where does the salmon come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't the salmon in the same ocean?
Yeah, but then they have the differences in salmon, either on the East Coast or on the West Coast, Alaskan salmon. Then they get into that kind of argument.
Well, we'll just take this lady's word for it. If you eat salmon, eat breakfast, get plenty of water, and walk instead of nap in the middle of the day. You will have more energy. And the last one, indulge your sweet tooth with chocolate.
There you go. I'm with that.
Keep in mind that a lady wrote this.
Oh.
Men, this is your evidence that women do not have the same sexual experience that you do. Because women will eat chocolate and say, that's as good as sex.
Yeah.
Men will eat chocolate and say, wow, I like chocolate. They will not compare it to sex.
Yeah, but after all of this, exercising and drinking and eating salmon and everything, and then you have chocolate, you're wide awake. You're ready to go for the gold, so you
go for the gold.
Get your male partner and say, I'm ready, honey.
All right, now, let me clarify the chocolate thing, because she says dark chocolate.
Okay, that's still good.
Contains antioxidants that boost brain function and may have other heart-healthy benefits. Mm-hmm. It comes from one of nature's best superfoods, the cacao bean.
There you go.
In its raw form, chocolate is just bursting with antioxidants, flavonoids, catechins. I might be saying that wrong. What? And many other body and brain enhancing components. So wait a minute. When we were kids, didn't they tell us it came from the cocoa bean?
Yes, they did. Yep.
And now it comes from the cacao bean?
Yeah.
What is the difference?
Money.
Cacao? C-A-C-A-O. That's almost like cocoa.
Yeah, but you pay more for that.
Cocoa is C-O-C-O-A. This is C-A-C-A-O.
You pay less for cocoa, more for cacao.
So they started making chocolate out of a different bean?
Probably, yeah.
When?
I have no clue.
And why?
I don't know.
What was wrong with the old bean?
It's money.
What's the difference between cacao and cocoa? All right, this is my last question. Then
look at a Hershey bar, see what it's made out of.
I want to make sure we save some time for the
okay.
What do you call it? Back to school stuff.
Sales tax exemption, 3-day weekend this weekend.
Do you know what I never knew?
What?
This has got nothing to do with anything. I never knew that the character Dan Connor on Roseanne. I never knew he died. Did you know that?
I didn't know he died. That's
not the actor.
Oh.
Not the actor.
The actor.
The character. There's an article I'm looking at inside.
Oh, she killed off her husband.
She kills him?
I don't know. You just said he died. I didn't know that he died in the Roseanne series. Is that why it
Dan
went off
Connor
the air?
was a key character throughout the popular series Roseanne. He played Roseanne's husband and provided the audience with many laughs as he presented Darlene, DJ, and Becky. He parented them, rather.
Oh, okay.
He died after having a heart attack at Darlene's wedding, a fact disguised at first by writers as Roseanne escaped into fantasy to cope with his death.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
I guess I wasn't a big fan of Roseanne. All right,
Me neither.
What do we need to know about the back to school stuff? Anything?
That it starts this Friday. This at 12:01 a.m. Friday morning and ends Sunday evening at 11:59 p.m. And there's a whole list we put on the WOCA Facebook page of the exempt items and the non-exempt items. We broke it down into the categories. Even gave you a link to the PDF from the Florida state government that you can download yourself and print out so you have it.
So and here at the mall they've got extended hours for the and so clothing, footwear, and other accessories selling for $100 or less per item.
Mm-hmm.
You can get with no tax, no sales tax.
Right.
School supplies selling for $15 or less per item. Personal computers on the first $750 of the sales price. Wow.
That is good.
The holiday does not apply to any item of clothing selling for more than $100.
Mhm.
Any school items selling for more than $15. Books that are not otherwise exempt. Rentals for who rents stuff for school?
I don't know.
Repairs of all those same items that also still will be taxed.
Mm-hmm.
The sale of a gift card is not taxable.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I thought.
It's because it's just money. All right. Well, hopefully that helps you. So, in a nutshell, to get more energy, don't take a nap. Take a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Drink plenty of water.
Yep.
Eat salmon.
Yep.
Eat breakfast.
Yep.
And eat dark chocolate.
That's right.
And you won't need that nap.
Exactly.
I'm going to try this. All right, we'll be right back. Fun with Joe coming up in just a little bit. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Nearly 3 years after the first of several concussion lawsuits were filed by ex-athletes, a settlement.
The NCAA is settling a class action suit involving head injuries brought on by current and former players. A $70 million fund is being created to diagnose and determine if players suffered brain trauma.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso. Continued clashes between Israeli forces and Hamas.
The pressure continues to grow for a ceasefire because of the mounting and growing death toll.
Fox's John Huddy on the Israeli-Gaza border. According to Palestinian officials,
in Gaza, 100 people were killed today. More than 1,200 have been killed so far. More than 6,200 have been injured. And here in Israel, 56 people have been killed, 3 civilians.
And home ownership in the U.S. hitting a 19-year low in the second quarter. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire,